Did you know that some fruit trees can produce hundreds, yes, hundreds of pounds of fruit every single year if they're kept the right size? Overgrown or poorly pruned trees can leave you with sky-high branches you can't reach and a disappointing harvest. But if you control the canopy from the very beginning, you'll be swimming in fruit you can actually pick. Stick around to find out the biggest secret to successful fruit tree planting, maintaining a low canopy from day one. Welcome to Don't Do This Guide, where we show you everything you shouldn't do so you can learn the right way to do it. Today, we're diving into the world of fruit trees and discovering why size control is the key to a bountiful harvest. When we talk about fruit trees, we're talking about trees meant to be productive, to bear fruit that we can enjoy. A fruit tree's energy is finite. If we allow a tree to grow tall and sprawling, that energy gets diverted into growing wood and leaves, leaving less for fruit production. Think of it like this. A young gardener might try to tackle a massive allotment in their first year, only to find themselves overwhelmed and with a disappointing harvest. But a seasoned gardener will carefully choose their crops, giving them ample space and attention. The result? A bountiful harvest from healthy, well-managed plants. By controlling their size, we're helping them focus their energy on producing delicious, juicy fruit. The key to this control lies in understanding the relationship between the tree's canopy and its root system. A tree's canopy captures sunlight and converts it into energy through photosynthesis, which needs to be distributed throughout the tree. By maintaining a balance between the canopy and the root system, we ensure that the tree's energy is used efficiently, promoting healthy growth and a bountiful harvest. Some might say, what's wrong with a tall fruit tree? It's majestic, it provides shade, it's a haven for birds. But practicality is key in the garden. A low canopy isn't just about aesthetics or managing the tree's energy. It's about making your life as a gardener easier and more enjoyable. A low canopy means you can easily reach every branch, every leaf, every delicious piece of fruit. No more ladders, no more precarious balancing acts. Pruning, a vital part of fruit tree care, becomes a breeze with a low canopy. You can easily inspect for pests and diseases, remove crossing branches, and maintain the tree's shape. A low canopy also helps to create a healthier growing environment. Good air circulation is essential for preventing fungal diseases, and a low open canopy allows sunlight to penetrate to all parts of the tree. When a tree's energy is focused on a smaller area, the fruit it produces tends to be larger, juicier, and more flavorful. In essence, a low canopy is like creating a miniature orchard within your own garden. It's about maximizing efficiency, productivity, and enjoyment. It's about working with nature, not against it, to create a harmonious and fruitful space. The journey to a low canopy begins the moment you put that sapling in the ground. Many well-intentioned gardeners go wrong by digging a hole, plunking the tree in, and hoping for the best. Don't be afraid to plant it a little higher than the surrounding soil level. This is especially important for trees on dwarfing rootstocks. Mounding the soil around the base of the tree helps with drainage and prevents waterlogging. The graft union, where the fruiting variety is joined to the rootstock, should always be above soil level. Pruning at planting is crucial. By pruning back those whippy-top shoots, you're encouraging the tree to put its energy into developing a strong framework of branches lower down. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't just start piling bricks on top of each other without a solid foundation, would you? It's the same with a fruit tree. Those early pruning cuts are like laying the foundation for a strong, well-structured tree that can support a heavy crop of fruit in the years to come. A little forethought and planning at this stage can make all the difference in the years to come. Now that your tree is in the ground and off to a good start, it's time to talk about training. Think of yourself as a gentle but firm guide, directing the tree's growth to create that desirable, low, open canopy. The best time to start this training is when the tree is young and pliable. One of the most effective methods for achieving this is through a technique called espalier. Espalier involves training the branches to grow along a framework, typically wires strung between posts, creating a two-dimensional form. This is particularly useful for smaller gardens or against walls, as it allows you to grow fruit trees in a confined space without sacrificing productivity. The key is to select a few well-spaced branches to form the main framework of your tree. These branches should be growing outwards from the trunk at an angle of roughly 45 degrees. By encouraging a wider angle, we're essentially slowing down the flow of sap, which in turn promotes flower bud formation and more fruit. As your tree grows, continue to select and train new branches, always aiming for that open, goblet-shaped form. Even with the best intentions, we all make mistakes in the garden, but when it comes to fruit trees, some mistakes can be more costly than others. One of the biggest mistakes I see is neglecting pruning altogether. People plant a tree, maybe give it a little snip here and there, and then wonder why it's a tangled mess a few years down the line. Pruning isn't just about removing dead or diseased wood, it's about shaping the tree, controlling its size, and encouraging fruit production. Another common error is pruning at the wrong time of year. The best time to prune varies depending on the type of fruit tree you have, but as a general rule of thumb, it's best to prune during the dormant season. Make clean, precise cuts just above a bud or lateral branch. Avoid leaving stubs, as these can become entry points for disease. Just like us, fruit trees need a balanced diet to thrive. But overfeeding, particularly with nitrogen-rich fertilizers, can lead to excessive leafy growth at the expense of fruit production. A light feed in the spring with a balanced fertilizer is usually sufficient. Don't forget about watering, especially during dry spells. Deep, infrequent watering is best, as it encourages the roots to grow deep down into the soil. Remember, it's all about balance and even distribution of growth. Pruning is the key to maintaining a low canopy and ensuring a bountiful harvest year after year. It's a skill that takes time and practice to master, but the rewards are well worth the effort. During the dormant season, typically late winter or early spring, it's time for structural pruning. This is where you're looking at the overall shape of the tree, removing any crossing branches, and opening up the center to allow light and air to penetrate. As the growing season progresses, you'll want to do some summer pruning as well. This is less about major structural changes and more about maintaining the shape you've created and removing any unwanted growth. Keep an eye out for suckers, those vigorous shoots that sprout from the base of the tree or from the rootstock. These are energy thieves that divert resources away from fruit production. Snip them off at the base as soon as you see them. Don't be afraid to thin out some of the fruit itself. Removing some of the developing fruit allows the tree to put its energy into ripening a smaller but higher quality crop. Think of pruning as an ongoing conversation with your tree. You're observing its growth, responding to its needs, and gently guiding it towards that ideal shape. Choosing the right rootstock for your fruit tree is crucial. Not all fruit trees are created equal. They come in all shapes and sizes, and the rootstock plays a significant role in determining the ultimate size and vigor of the tree. Dwarfing rootstocks produce smaller trees that are ideal for small gardens or even containers. They're also generally more precocious, meaning they start fruiting at a younger age. Semi-dwarfing rootstocks produce slightly larger trees that are still manageable in a domestic setting. Vigorous rootstocks are best suited for large gardens or orchards, as they can grow into quite substantial trees. When choosing a rootstock, consider the available space you have, the type of fruit tree you're growing, and your own personal preferences. The variety of fruit tree you choose will also influence its growth habit and ultimate size. Some varieties are naturally more compact, while others have a tendency to sprawl. Do your research and choose a variety that's well suited to your climate and growing conditions. The secret to fruit tree success: Low Canopy Mastery. By now, I hope you're convinced that keeping your fruit trees in check isn't about stunting their growth, but rather about encouraging them to flourish in a way that benefits both the tree and the gardener. A low canopy means easier harvesting, improved air circulation, better pest and disease control, and of course, higher quality fruit. It's about working with nature, not against it, to create a harmonious and productive space in your garden. There's a certain satisfaction that comes from shaping and training a fruit tree, from guiding its growth and reaping the rewards of your labor. As you stand back and admire your well-pruned, fruit-laden tree, you'll know that you've achieved something truly special. We hope you found this information valuable. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, Don't Do This Guide, so you never miss our latest tips on what not to do, and of course, how to do it right. Thank you so much for watching. We love having you here with us, learning and growing literally and figuratively. Until next time, remember, size control starts at the canopy, so keep it low and watch your fruit harvest grow.